I don't want to pretend like this is my story. I don't want to own the rights to it, nor give them to anyone else. When I was told it was in my best interest to change this story, I decided that I would neither feel threatened by it nor absolve myself of a personal responsibility to keep it from becoming someone else's memory. One day I sat on a porch on Stuyvesant Avenue in Trenton. It was not my house, but my newborn was there, my partner was there, and so were his friends. They were not my friends. My partner is no longer my partner. He's no longer really even my son's father, though he was then, and this was my life at that time. I just stood on a porch on Stuyvesant. I watched as a man walked up with a patch over his eye. I was told that he didn't know it, but he was struck in a gunfight by a bullet belonging to his brother one night at a party. I have no idea if that is truth or fiction, but I do know that the rest of this story is like a reoccurring memory that gets looser and muddier and wrong sometimes, even when we swear we are right. By we, I mean black and brown people.
The cannon. Get back, Cash Radio. Hey, Rod, what up, nigga?
Cannon. Get your coat storm, out to the coat gone. Old school, feeling like Kane with the rope on. High top with the tail when I was a young nigga. I set the streets on fire. Where I'm from, nigga. You know the love overpowers the hate. And light change and had a mortician powder your face. I don't fuck with records y'all niggas come up with. This bud too good to break up on that dumb shit. I collab and network with Poppy Uptown for the best work. Other than that slick, I don't wanna kick it or talk. You can Spanish rice mix veggie chicken to fork with a lemonade sweet tea mix. Put whoever on D, they can't stop me. Goddamn, I score from anywhere on the hardwood. Niggas mad cause I'm getting mine, but it's all good. I respect the game, but never the clowns that partake in the circus. Dudes is worthless, all fake. Canal Street gooch, themselves on the jack, got a thing for the candy, but no sweet.
Can I buy you a drink?
You right on time.
Man, as clean as a whistle. If you was watching me, you got to see that I'm a fish.
So what do I owe this honor?
Well, nothing in life is free.
It's always a catch.
I missed you.
Yeah, man.
And I want to party.
I mean, that's why we all here, right?
I want to party like last time.
Do I get the party like we did last time? I'll be by later.
Big O! Dog Cannon the Master!
Cannon.
I thought I asked you to stop pushing shit up in my club.
All you saw was me give a gift to a friend.
Listen, I know you is, and I know your peoples. And I'm not trying to start no shit. But I own the spot. And I'll be dead if I'm gonna let some bitch ass. There are no words.
That's what it really feels like, yo. You know, people think it feels like when you suddenly can't see shit, but it actually feels like when you can't say shit. Like finally, yo, like when you finally ran out of some shit to say.
Take my nigga. Black. Falling dumb, deaf, and blind peoples out there, man. Check it out, man.
Got that.
Deep sea, though you left the world too soon, that's all's work. And you can't judge his moves. You was a father, son, a brother, cousin, or uncle, or dear friend to many. Outspoken but was humble. He took you, he must have known something.
When everyone was there and no one sees shit, and you wake up the next morning like it ain't up to you to say nothing to nobody, that's the streets. This story is actually a fantasy about what could happen if those same streets did something. I had to find my own voice to say anything back to this reality. I'm somewhere in Dion, the college girl, sitting at the bar, having a little fun, and fucking some nigga. But it doesn't mean that I'm nowhere in the black man who gave her the ecstasy. I went to school with him too. He loved her more than you, way too much to ever want to hurt her, and the first thing you have to do is take yourself out of it. Stop looking for yourself in any one of these people. Look for the streets because they are everywhere. When I was threatened to change my story because it sounded too similar to someone else's story, I didn't, because I knew that this was a little of all of our story. We don't own it, though. Oppression does. Now I live and work in those same streets. I chose them because they were honestly the only thing that ever truly gifted me anything, other than my own friends and family. They gave me this story even. It ain't nothing to brag about or be proud of, but it was a gift.
The word black is incorporated by Great Britain, so every time you use their product, which is being black, you got to pay taxes because the color black is copyrighted by Great Britain. Like Jay-Z owned blue, Great Britain owns the color black. We're not black, we're Moorish. Moorish means people of dark skin because the Moranos was already in power. That's why they call them the Gators, the Florida Gators, and that's why in Jamaica they use the alligator, is because we represented the Gator, which is the Arawak, the Tainos, the Moranos, and these people are scheduled to take back over in 2012. This makes us international. So now we become international travelers.
In the biblical chapter Ruth, there is a man in Moab, a visitor in a wasteland with his wife and 2 sons. They too were strangers. One of the sons, an outsider, grows to marry Ruth. The other son takes a wife and Ruth inherits a sister. It is their partnership, a family of strangers, that provides the love story. 10 years pass and Ruth, now an estranged lover, a widow, goes with her mother-in-law out from Moab to find Jesus. Ruth ultimately encourages her daughters-in-law to go back to the homes of their husbands. Ruth goes with her mother-in-law, Naomi, to her home in Bethlehem. They returned with nothing. She went out full but returned empty. That's what the streets do. Truthfully, we come from this legacy of God's gifts, but the devil convinces us of our supposed infliction. Trenton is my Bethlehem. These streets became for me the place where God, and unfortunately the devil also, is so painfully present. This story of this one blind man solidifies that fact for me. Were it not for God's grace, however, Ruth would not have eaten amongst others in Bethlehem. Because of Ruth, her community in Bethlehem is taught a lesson about kin and inheritance, and she conceives of a revered son. Before this son walks up and down any street, no matter which son there is revered in your mind, it is important to know that story of Ruth. Soapbox preachers give that story and so many others to the streets.
Peace. Peace, dog.
My bad, boss. I was caught up.
You good?
Do I know you from somewhere?
You out here? You might have seen me around the way.
Man, I don't even stay around here.
Dog, yo. You still out here later. Come through. House party tonight.
Hey, yo, what's this?
222 Stuyvesant, house party. Come through.
21-year-old Dion Shaw died last night after spending almost 1 month in a coma at a local Bellevue hospital.
The reason why Dion matters in her own streets is because she was pretty. She grew up there, but everyone thought she'd make it out. She stayed too long. One ecstasy pill too long, many thought, but very few people spoke about it. This story pretends like Dion had a mother-in-law, someone to protect her in someone else's homeland. It fantasizes like Dion had a sister.
Damn, yo, you read this?
Oh, what's up?
Shaw was a college senior at Rutgers University in New Brunswick, with plans to graduate this May and attend law school the following year. It's been reported that she suffered a heat stroke after ingesting an ecstasy pill at Trenton, New Jersey's parks this past New Year's.
just get to walk away? She was my only child. She was all I had. And you just get to walk away? Unharmed? Shit. What the fuck is no justice, young buck? You got that in a little pill too? Can I cop that off you for a couple of bucks? Can I help you clean up the mess you made? The mess you fucked you, nigga!
The reality is that sometimes the only protection from the streets is the streets. But in the absence of any community policing, God steps in. When Cam seeks to avenge his daughter's death, he makes up for what the police can't and won't often do, and dies trying. The rest of us, who stand by and do nothing, are just cowards. I've been waiting.
I've been sitting here for hours.
I want you on much more. But right now, I have you in possession of an illegal firearm and assault with a deadly weapon.
You ain't got me on shit, or else you'll be reading my rights. What y'all wrote up on the day, that was self-defense.
Today? Yes. But that's why it's 364 other days of the year for you to fuck up.
You got one particular in mind?
What do you say we start with the first? New Year's, Park Center. That shit ring a bell?
Nope.
Well, the gun we pulled off your boy Ponch today matches a slug lifted out of a skull of a man that was shot at Park. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that now, would you?
Did you ask my boy Ponch?
Are you worried about what he told me when I did?
Man, I ain't nothing like you cat. Yo, Hellfire, I think we got something. Don't confuse me with these niggas. Hold up. Don't confuse me with these niggas. Wait a minute. Yo. These niggas. Don't do that. Don't confuse me with these niggas. Don't confuse me with these niggas. Yeah. Don't confuse Let's try these niggas. Wait 1 minute. Yo. These niggas.
Peace to the God. I said peace to the gods. Look, that shit that happened earlier today, that wasn't my fault. And Ponch, man, he ain't gonna do no time. That was self-defense. I popped that shit one time outside of Parks. That's it. I left that shit here in case y'all niggas got into some shit. Look, right up the block, it's a party. We go, we get some licks, couple bitches, let's roll. All right, niggas, one.
I see you coming for me, but I move fast. You have to move quicker than that to get me. You already know. Yeah. D'Andre Soto. On the vocals. Sounds so beautiful, baby. You hear me? My level's right. Let me show you what we came here to do.
She's not a model woman, no, but she's the model woman, yeah. She's not a model woman, no, but she's the model woman, yeah.
Long time no speak. Is that all we have between us? My attitude is just fucking. My people got so much dirty money that they corrupted. It's funny that the only thing around them that they've been trusting is greed to motivate this.
She's not a model woman, no, but she's the model woman, yeah. She's not a model woman, no, but she's the model woman, yeah.
Two sixes of paradise.
Put your ass into a deep sleep.
Peace. Peace, God.
My bad, boss. I was caught up.
You good?
Do I know you from somewhere?
You out here? You might have seen me around the way.
Man, I don't even stay around here.
Duh, yo. You still out here later. Come through. House party tonight.
Hey, yo, what's this?
222 Stuyvesant, house party. Come through.
You can decide what should be done with the streets. Most people don't even bother. Many credit an eye for an eye as justice. This ending requires that you set aside your guilty conscience, your political correctness, your disregard for everyone you can't relate to, and imagine what you would want if Dion was your daughter, if she was your sister. It is broken and fantastic on purpose. Whether we are left with justice or muddy memories, it is God's will.
I'm on the block now, but all of the fiends gone. If getting money the anthem, this is the theme song. Da 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 da. I got the gun on me right up in the squatter. Nah, we ain't choose this life out here. We got to bear these arms of your mama saying who shot ya. DTs asking around, they know who got ya. White sheet cover your face, no need for doctors. Damn, these boys modern day mobsters. Broad daylight, 3 o'clock, you hear blacka. Yeah, this ain't a movie, no Oscars. Only awards niggas get is holding choppers. Man, so which way do a nigga go? When this yay make a nigga dough. I got this haze and a little snow. I'm getting paid, you already know.
21-year-old Dion Shaw died last night after spending almost 1 month in a coma at a local Bellevue hospital.